Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. Um, Thinking about today, all morning long I've been thinking about how today is Sunday. It's the first day of the week, and the first always symbolizes beginnings. And thinking about everything that I'm still going through. I have not been on much late last week, and I apologize to everyone for that. Um, it's a work in progress. Every day is a work in progress, and uh, my goals, they're they're moving along. Well, I wanted to give an update. The update is that we're at $784 still in the GoFundMe, but still waiting for more donations, and I'm sure that they will come. It's not going to happen overnight. I understand that. We're at 147 subscribers. That's moving along pretty good there too as well, and I like that. Uh, and I've shared that with some people closer to me, and I guess you should be proud of that. The fact that I did open up to people who are that's close to me, and show them the video. Because like I said before, um, the only people that's seen my video was strangers, and of course now you all, who became subscribers to the channel. It's easier for some reason to talk to a stranger or to show a stranger what's inside of you than it is to show it to your family or your friends, people that's closer to you. It's easier to do that for some reason. I don't know why. I kind of experienced that when I was in doing substance abuse groups and whatnot. Experienced that with them, how it was easier for them to come in a group and be able to discuss their substance abuse issue and how they know they've hurt people and all that stuff. It was easier for them to do that than for them to share it with their family. Um, it's an odd world. It's you would think that people would actually open up to the people that they care about, and maybe it's a fear of judgment. Maybe it's a fear of because your family knows you better than anybody, and maybe it's a fear that they won't believe you or whatever, or they lost hope in you or whatever, and maybe that's what it is. I just know that for me, personally experiencing not being willing at this moment to actually open up my world and let them know what's going on inside of me with this. And um, I remember my mama told me years ago. She said that out of there's 6 children that she raised, and I honor her for actually raising all 6 of them, um, and she kept her sanity because we was all stair steps. And by stair steps, I mean we're all a year apart except for my baby sister who's like 7 years younger than us. But she kept her sanity. Her and my father both, they kept their sanity and raised 6 children, and did a wonderful job raising them. I mean, my brother, he and my sister became nurses. I became a substance abuse counselor, went on to get an MBA degree. My baby sister, she's a manager. Um, and they raised some wonderful children, and they raised them to be committed. And so I have to thank my mom and dad for that, letting me know that I need to be committed, and no matter what I do, and keep my head up. But my mama told me years ago, she said, out of all 6 of her children, she said, I don't really worry about you a lot because you find yourself when you hit bottom, or you feel like you're hitting bottom, you're that one child that before you know it, you done pulled it all back together again, and you're floating again. And she did share with me, since I've been going through all this with this job thing and not being back where I wanted to be, doing what I wanted to do, she did share with me about a year ago, she said, I don't know why it's taking longer this time for you to get it together than normally, but she said, you'll get there. Um, and just to ask everyone to keep in prayer and keep in mind that I share with everybody how much I love working for that company, that corporation Geo, and the great works that they do and the great works that we do. And since 2016, I have not been with them because they actually closed their doors, all 6 offices in North Carolina, and they went elsewhere. But I did find out last week that they are trying to come back into North Carolina, And I saw some positions posted that I know I'm qualified to do. I remember when I worked at Geo, I remember their headquarters was in Boca Raton, Florida, and I remember how every time I talked to somebody, and I live in North Carolina, and I talked to somebody from Boca Raton or just someone in the company, period, my name seemed to have gotten around, and they was all so pleased to talk to me and so happy to talk to me every time they knew I was in the room. They'd always, say, well, where's Travis? Can I speak to him? Made me feel good because, I mean, what I was doing, I don't know why I'm even crying. I'm crying, I guess, because I desire to be so much further than where I'm at right now. And it seems like it's just taking me forever. It seems like it's taking me forever to get where I was once. I can see it, but it's just not here yet. And yesterday I sat, I prayed, and I cried on my present job. I sat and I cried, saying to myself, God, this is not where you want me, and I know it's not. It's not my destiny. It's not my calling. I'm not doing what I'm normally do, what you call me to do. And I begin to quote scripture out of the Bible, talking about how faith is the evidence of things not seen, but is the substance of things. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, my mind is just not. It's all foggy right now. But it talked about faith, and it talked about having the size of having faith the size of a grain of mustard seed, and how you can move mountains, and if you just believe. And I begin to talk to God that way and let Him know that, you know what, God, I mean, you know all about me. You know me better than anybody, and know that I know that He's not going to leave me right where I'm at, and I know that somehow He's going to make a way that this surgery will happen, and it will be successful. And everything that's going on in my life right now, I just have no choice but to believe that it's going to be okay. And I know that, oh my God, y'all probably get so sick of me getting on here just crying all the time. The person that I am and the person that's living right now is just not matching for me. I know I was created for more than what I'm doing. I know that I'm capable of more than what I'm doing. And I said to myself that I was going to kind of break down and talk about how my world in 1 year, it seemed like in 1 year it just flipped over. It seemed like one day everything was going okay and everything was fine. I remember sitting and I was talking to my boss one day in her office, and I looked at her and I told her, I said, I don't know why I feel like crying, because I have almost everything I could ever possibly want. Had a good job, a good place, and a good apartment, very lovely neighborhood, everything seemed great, but I felt like crying. That's how good I felt at that time. But then it seemed like all of a sudden in January of last year, my mama, who was always a healthy lady, ended up in the hospital in January. And from that time, from January on up until probably like August of last year, she was in and out of nursing homes and hospitals. They wouldn't let her come home because she had 3 heart attacks, and how she had kidney failure, and her leg something was going on with the blood clot in her leg, and it kept swelling. They was talking about having to take it off, and all of a sudden she's going through all that. And so I'm thinking about my mama, because I love her to death, and I want her to be healthy, of course. And watching her go through that was the hardest thing in the world for me. Then right after that, it seemed like my family seemed like in April, they just turned their back on me for some reason. I don't know why, and I got accused of all kinds of things that I know I didn't do, and I was not guilty of. And of course, later on, they found out that it wasn't true, because I knew that wasn't my character, the things that they accused me of. But it's so, at that point in April, it seemed like the whole world just turned its back on me. Including my family. So I walked through that alone and by myself. Then right after that, of course, in May, it's when my fiance died last year. Then right after that, it's just like one thing after another the whole year. I lost my apartment. I was homeless up until March of this year, but yet I still kept getting up every morning, and I kept going, and I kept applying for jobs and feeling like I was halfway dead, halfway through it. That year, last year, just seemed like it just stripped every will to live out of me, and it just kept trying me, and it kept testing me, and I'm not gonna lie to you, twice last year, twice, I attempted suicide. I did, but then I knew that the way I tried to do it, I knew that it was supposed to be successful, but somehow I made it out of it. I woke up the next morning, and I knew that at that point, God was not ready to take me out of here. He wasn't done with me. There's people that needed me. And I questioned myself, and I questioned God, and I said, how can they need me? And I'm not here for me right now. It's hard to do that. But still yet, people kept coming to me, even in the midst of everything I was going through. And they kept coming to me, and last year was just not a good year. So when, at the beginning of this video, I talked about new beginnings. So when January came of this year, I said, okay, so I'm going to put faith and just believe that this year is going to be better, and I'm going to get it together, and things will come back like it was. And sometimes it seems like still some of the fragments from last year is still trying to straggle on. But I gotta, in January, in March, so I finally found a job. That's the current job I'm working out. I finally found a job. But the day before I was supposed to start the job, I woke up that morning and found out that I had sepsis in my knee. So I had blood poisoning in my knee, and it was swollen up, and I couldn't even walk. So I had to be taken out of work for 4 weeks because I had to be hospitalized because of that. But then I got out the hospital. The doctor said, don't walk on that leg for a while. We're going to take me out of work. And I said, you know what? Because nobody can take care of me. I have to take care of myself. I wasn't going to ask anybody for anything or whatever, but because I'm so used to doing for me, I'm so used to taking care of other people, or other people taking care of me. So I got up and I went to work anyway, walking on that leg and dragging it around with me because I was going to work. I was going to do it. I don't know why. The past few days, and that's probably the reason why I've been crying a lot, thinking about everything I've been through in 1 year and how I feel like it just took a lot out of me. But I have faith to know that the depths of all my struggles, that I will rise above every one of them, and I'll come full circle again back to where I was, and I will be what I once was. But before I close out, because we're approaching the 15-minute mark, before I close out, first I'd like to say thank you again to everybody for subscribing to the channel. Thank you to everybody for listening to me. That was me talking about some of the hardest struggles in my life, which last year was the hardest I've ever been through. And I'm still coming out of some of that, and it's going to be okay. But so I want to thank everybody for subscribing again. I want to thank Pancake. I want to thank everybody for putting up with me on these videos and whatnot. And I want to say I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love each and every one of y'all. And I thank you for everything that you've done. I hate to sound like on this video I sound like I rambled a lot, but just thoughts going through my head, just thinking about last year and everything that I'm still trying to put back together. I heard it saying one time, they said the struggle is real, and God knows it is. But I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you again for the GoFundMe. I'm going to post the link on the comment section again, in case anybody new wants to donate or whatnot. I appreciate it. Not a dime that's going to ever be wasted. It's going to go to the intended purpose I said it was going to go to. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for, even if you get on here and you just browse or whatnot and you don't subscribe or whatever. Thank God even for the fact that you stopped and you looked at it for a couple of seconds, and whether you stopped and liked it or whatever. I thank y'all for that. Just keep me in your heart, keep me in your prayers, that I'll stay strong and I'll keep going. And I'm going to do the same for each and every one of you. Y'all are the reason why I get up and I keep moving, because you keep asking me to keep coming back. You keep asking me to keep coming back, and I don't want to let none of y'all down. With that being said, I want to say thank you again to each and every one of y'all. I want to thank you for being dedicated to me just as much as I'm dedicated to you. And I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you again. Y'all have a good day.